Hello my dear friends, my name is Sanna and welcome back to another beauty video. Today I have another tutorial for you. We're gonna be creating this summer sunset inspired makeup look. It's inspired by a Pinterest post on color schemes that a friend of mine, I think it was Penning at the Disco, shared on their Instagram. And it says this like cute summer sunset color scheme. And I just felt like it's so cute. So I wanted to do something with it. And since it's summer, I think a summer sunset inspired makeup look works perfectly well. So this is what we created. We have like a negative space sort of eyeliner going on. And some fun colors and sparkles and rhinestones and everything. So let's quickly get into how to create this makeup look. Okay, we're gonna get started by prepping our face. I already did my skincare, of course, but now I'm gonna be applying the Essence Fix and Last Makeup Gripping Jelly Primer. Also, don't mind my hand. I have the color story that I'm gonna use figured out before, so just a guide. Okay, the skin is prepped. Let that sit for a bit so you can get tacky. As you can see, my skin is very red, so we're gonna create a nice base. So I'm first gonna go in with some concealer. Gonna cover up quite a few parts already. Blend it out, of course. And I'm doing concealer first because the foundation that I'm using requires concealer first. Because the foundation sets itself basically. So if I go in with concealer afterwards, it literally just picks up the foundation. So that doesn't work. So concealer first. So now we're gonna go in with the Essence Pretty Natural foundation. I'm just trying to cover up that redness in my cheeks especially. We'll just let that sit for a tiny bit so it can set. Then I'm gonna go in with the Essence All About Matte Fixing Loose Powder. Just gonna set everything. Make sure it doesn't move. And I'm just creating my base this way because my skin was so red from already filming a video this morning. But usually if I'm going for like a summery makeup look, I would just do a tiny bit of concealer. Keep it a bit more glowy and natural. Now I'm just quickly gonna fill in my brows using the Essence Brow Powder set. I am using the shade Deep and Dark, and then I'm using the lighter shade in the palette. And then I'm using the Essence Lash and Brow Gel Mascara to set the hairs in place. Beautiful. Then I want to go in with a nice summery colorful blush. So I'm going into the Bay by HEMA Superglow Rose Highlighter. It's really pretty. And it says it's actually a highlighter, but it has such a pink undertone that you get an extreme cast. So I've been using it as a blush ever since I got it. But it's a really pink, really glowy blush. I think it's really pretty. So I'm just applying that the high points of my cheekbones, where I always apply my blush. Gorgeous and glowy. And of course a tiny bit on the tip of my nose, like I always do. We immediately get a great nose highlight. Okay, so now that we got our base ready, we're moving towards the eyes. So I'm first priming my eyes using the Milani eyeshadow primer. Just spreading it across the lid. And then we're just gonna let it dry for a couple of seconds. So now we can go in with the eyeshadows. And I'm first gonna go in with the pastel yellow shade, because it's the lightest shade, so I think it's the easiest to start with. And then we can put that right in the center and we can work outwards from there. So for that I'm using two shades to mix, because one is too bright and the other is too light. First of all, I'm using the Colourpop Fade Into Hue palette and then the shade Big Smile, this pastel yellow. And then I'm also using the Root Cosmetics City of Dreamy Lights palette in the shade Checkpoint, this one. And we're just mixing those until we get like a bit of a good yellowish center. So I'm first gonna apply the bright yellow and blend it outwards a bit. And then go on top with the more pastel. I think we can create a great color with that. I'm not blending it outwards too much. I think I'm gonna first apply all the shades and then we're gonna blend them. So let's go inwards, and I'm gonna go inwards with the pink, I think. So for that I am using the Colourpop Fade Into Hue palette. I'm going into the shade Lovecraft. So I'm applying that right next to that yellow on the inner side. And like I said, I'm not really gonna blend anything yet. Just want to make sure we have all the pigment on there. And then next to that I'm going in with this shade called Atelier. Put that right in that inner corner. So now we can get into the teal shades, and for that I'm also using 2 different palettes. So first off, I'm going into the Bloom Into You palette by Cara Beauty, and I'm going to use the shade Violet. I'm putting that right next to this one, just making sure we get some pigment in there. And we're going to create a tiny bit of a shape, so moving a bit more outwards because I want a bit of a wing-ish shape. And then for the deeper shade, I'm going into the Beauty Bay Bright Matte palette, and I'm going into this shade called Seamist. I'm really pulling my shadows from literally everywhere just to get the correct shades. So now that we have everything put on, I'm just gonna go in with the shades that I've been using and just blend them. So I'm just going in with that deeper green shade, then going into the lighter shade. And I'm also using the lighter shade a tiny bit to blend around the edges of the deeper shade, just so that blend looks a bit more natural. And you just gotta be careful with blending. Blending can take a while, you know. And if you want to make it a bit easier for yourself, you can go in with a skin tone shade or just a powder and then blend out the edges. You can also just use a face powder for it. I'm not blending this lower edge because we're going to be doing something with that anyway, so no use in spending time on that. Then we can go into the pink shades. Make sure you blend everything outwards as well. And then of course going in with a bit more of that deep pink shade, just to make sure that inner corner is really bright. Okay, we have our blend going. And now I'm gonna go in with a flat brush, and I'm gonna be creating a bit of a winged liner moment. So I've basically just taken off a bit of the eyeshadow in its shape, and now I'm gonna be applying concealer on top of that. So I'm just using a flat eyeshadow brush, and I'm just gonna be stamping on concealer on that, basically that eyeliner area. So we're basically just creating an eyeliner wing using concealer, and that will be the base for our next eyeshadow. Okay, so we have 2 beautiful negative wings going on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fill them in with the same shades that we used before, just in the different order, like the opposite order. So we're just going to grab a really small blending brush, and then we're going to go into those shades, and I'm going to start again with the yellow in the center, and then we're going to work outwards. So let's put a tiny bit of that yellow on there, and a bit of that other yellow on top. So we have our center ready. So let's go in with the blues and the pinks now. I'm going outwards first with the pinks, I think. So we're just using the same exact shades, and we're just going in the opposite order of what we did before. Just filling in that area, bright deep pink over here, right next to the blue. And again, we're first gonna stamp all the colors on, and then we're gonna blend them out later. Okay, now that we have all the shades applied, we can go in and blend them again. Same thing that we did before, just make sure you keep it small so you don't go over the edge of that liner. And the trick to a good blend is just to go back and forth and back and forth, just with all the different shades. And just take it easy as well. Don't go rushing into things, because then you'll go too quick, you'll slip up, have a bit too much pigment somewhere, which makes it difficult to really blend it out. So just work at your own tempo. Really make sure this final bit of the liner is like really pigmented, so it's really nice and deep. And it doesn't matter that the underside is not really nice and blended yet, because we're just gonna clean that up afterwards. Okay, so we have the blend going on. I feel like it's like a sorbet ice cream or something. So now we're gonna clean up that eyeliner edge with some concealer as well. So just go in with your flat brush again and just draw a line underneath. Then we gotta blend in that concealer to the rest. Like that, we have a nice clean line. Okay, so now we have 2 clean liners on both sides. So now I want to go in with the lower lash, and I want to keep it the same order as what we did above, but I'm just going in with the lighter shades, and we're going for a really thin edge. So now that you have all the matte blends going on, we can start going in with some shimmers to finish everything up. So I am going into a shimmer by Chaos Dirt called Vision, which is a really nice like yellowish golden translucent shade, I guess. I'm gonna be applying that shade to the inner corner, also to the brow bone. And I also like to add this to my highlight, because it's just gonna fit really well. And it's really gonna pop in the pictures that I want to take. Okay, so now we have everything going on that we want going on. So now I'm just gonna go in and add some eye pencils so my waterline can match the makeup look. I'm going into these three. These are by Max & More in the shade Island Oasis, Bright Sunlight, and Sweet Love. Do the same on the waterline as what I have on the, like below the waterline basically. Now let's add some mascara. I'm using the Essence Another Volume Mascara Just Better. I feel like it's time to add some rhinestones. So that's what we're gonna do. I have some stick-on ones. Want one right there. Okay. I feel like that really added whatever this look was missing. As it was missing something. Then let's do a nice neutral lip. First starting with the Catrice Plumping Lip Liner in the shade Understated Chic. Then we'll go in with the Essence Hydrating Nude Lipstick in the shade 302 Heavenly. A very nice neutral lip. And then all that's left to do is add some lashes. So I'll go stick them on and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, I'm back with the finished look. We got lovely summery colors going on with some interesting little additions. I think it turned out really cute. I do think that the rhinestones do really help. But it's also because this is almost a fully matte look. And I never do fully matte looks. And then when I do one, I'm like, I don't know, it's missing something. It needs sparkle. So I do feel like the rhinestones really add a lot. The lashes that I added are the Kiss My Lash But Better lashes in the style No Filter. So yeah, this is the finished summer sunset inspired makeup look. If you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. If you want to see even more from me, my blog, my socials, and my Instagram where I post makeup looks like this are all linked down below so you can check that out as well. And that's gonna be for me today. I want to thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Toodles!